Hey guys, wanted to make this video for everybody applying for the growth specialist position at Nessis Renaud. I'm super excited to continue building this team and have you guys come on board. So if you're watching this is going to be super important before you apply to kind of get all the information that you need to know and learn how to become a top 1% outreaching specialist by working for us at Nessis Renaud. So let me just get right into it. Who is this role for? So this role is for someone who has background knowledge in financial advising, lead generation, cold outreach, or marketing agencies. You don't necessarily have to have background knowledge in these areas, but if you do have background knowledge in any of the above, you're just going to start with a bit of an advantage compared to other people. Obviously, we are a marketing agency that does lead generation for financial advisors, and the main kind of duty that this role entails is cold outreach. So, knowing any of those things are going to be a huge asset and kind of give you a little bit of a jump right off the bat. Now, we're also looking for somebody who is looking to earn anywhere from 4 to 8 grand in the next 90 days. Should be very possible depending on the amount of, work that you're willing to put in, the amount of days that you're willing to work to earn 8 grand a month in the next 90 days. We've set up the system for you to be able to win, for you to be able to do that with the different commission structures and everything and all the bonus structures that we have set up. Anyone who's actually successful and wants to be successful at this role should be looking to make, around 4 to 8 grand a month minimum. We're also looking for someone who doesn't mind working the weekends and putting in the work consistently, right? So we're really looking for someone in this position who is willing to get up kind of no matter what the day is, who doesn't mind, missing out on a party or whatever, and actually putting the work in when it matters, realizing that, hey, a lot of our prospects and clients are free on the weekends. That's the best time to reach out to them. So we're looking for somebody who's willing to do that and understands that doing this consistently is what's really going to make them the money, and being there when our clients are actually there, right? Like, a lot of the time in this industry, there's kind of a cliche saying, all the money's made after hours and on the weekends, and sometimes that's the way that it really is here. We're also looking for somebody who understands the flywheel effect and how that will be able to transform not only our business, but their own life in the process. So what is the flywheel effect? Because it's super important and it's really key to understanding this position. So the flywheel effect occurs when small wins accumulate over time, creating momentum that keeps your business growing. The concept is based on mechanical flywheels that power rowing machines and other devices. Achieving the flywheel effect requires removing friction and applying force, right? So think of it like starting a lawnmower, right? Because that's what a flywheel is. Flywheel is a thing attached to the lawnmower. Now, at first, it takes effort to pull that flywheel and get kind of the engine going. But once you kind of get over that hump of pulling the flywheel, all it takes is a little bit of fuel and just consistently, firing fuel into the engine to just keep it going, right? And that's the same thing when it comes to this business. The more wins that you put in over time, the more, people you start to outreach to, the larger your audience grows, the more group posts that you have that you're getting inbound leads from and all this other stuff. Like, the longer you're in the system, the more and more you're going to succeed, the more and more prospects are going to come have knocking at your door, the whole bit. So it's really important to understand this and understand that this is going to get better with time. The longer that you're able to stay in this system and the longer you're able to build your audience and build your prospect list out, the better that you're actually going to do, not only for the business, but also for yourself with the amount of commissions that you'll be able to earn off of that. So that's that. We're also looking for somebody who is looking to build a multiple six-figure a year skill set. So we built our business off of the back of, this position, really in this role. We were doing it ourselves, myself and my business partner, Quinn. We've already passed the six-figure mark this year, and we are very close to surpassing multiple six figures. We will have another couple multiple six figures by the end of the year. So yeah, this is the skill set that we took to actually build this business, right? So you should be looking to actually build this skill set yourself. We're looking for someone who's tired of being around losers and can actually cope with the pressures of being around winners every day. So something about me, I love to win. I love when everyone around me wins. And part of what I felt, back when I was kind of working a 9 to 5 doing whatever, was the people around me didn't really have that ambition to go anywhere or kind of further their lives. They were just kind of content with the position they were in. Or even when they took losses in life, they were so conditioned to that they were okay with it. And that always, losing has always bothered me. I've always hated it. I've always hated being around people who like to lose. And maybe, you're not in a position where you feel like you're around losers necessarily. And I don't mean losers in the sense of like, oh, this person is stupid, whatever else you want to throw out there. I mean, just people who are okay with losing, right? If you're somebody who isn't okay with losing, and you're somebody who wants to win, right? Then come join our winner circle, guys. But you need to understand that if you're going to join this circle, there's pressure that it takes to actually win every single day. There's pressure in the system, and you just have to be able to cope with that. It's not a bad pressure. It's not a negative pressure that we put on anyone, but there is definitely a pressure of like, we are all pushing each other to win with the system that we have set up, with the team that we have around us right now. Like, we are pushing everybody in this company. I'm pushing my business partner, who's pushing me, who's pushing, all the employees that we have hired right now. Everyone is pushing each other to win. We all want to win. And that definitely takes pressure. That's something that you have to be able to cope with, or at the very least be able to learn to cope with very fast. We're also looking for someone who understands my business and is familiar with me and trusts me, right? So if you don't know about Nessis Renaud, we have tons of videos on YouTube already. We have TikTok content. We have a whole bunch of other stuff. We got Facebook, Instagram, every kind of social media page that you can imagine. Like, actually know what my business does, know what it is that we do for financial advisors, the problems that we solve for people. I shouldn't need to really sell you on the call with you that I get on if you apply for this position, right? You should have a basic understanding of my business so that when you're going out and talking to prospects, you actually know what you're offering them. You actually know what the business does. Otherwise, it's a really bad look on me, and it's a really bad look on my business if we have people that are going out who don't even know what our business does and messaging people to provide solutions they know nothing about. So you should already be familiar with my business and what we do before you apply. And if you're not, that's cool, but we have a lot of content. I'll make sure that you catch up on that, before you apply if you really want to take this position seriously. We also are looking for someone who understands the 3 response rule. So I believe it was Jeff Bezos who came up with this. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Bezos at Amazon. He came up with, every time there was a problem in his business, he had 3 responses that you were allowed to give him. The first one was, I've identified the problem and it will take me this amount of time to solve it. I've identified the problem and it will take me this resource to solve it. Or, I don't know what the problem is, but I will know by this date. So we're looking for people who are able to be problem solvers, who are able to identify problems and come to us with solutions before, just blindly asking and not even thinking about what a solution could possibly be. Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely here to answer questions for, everyone in my business and all of our prospects and all of that. But we're looking for people who know how to ask the right questions and who understand that it's still their responsibility to do a bit of the research before coming in and asking, questions that they can answer with a simple Google search or answer by just going over some of the training over again, right? So somebody who understands that as well is definitely key, and knowing how to ask the right questions here, because there will be a lot of questions that you'll have, but knowing how to ask them the right way is really, really, really going to put you up higher and higher through the tiers very, very quickly. So now let me get into who this role is not for. This role is not for somebody who does not have the ability to commit to working 6 days a week. So if you can't work 6 days a week and come in and do that, then I'm sorry, this just isn't really for you. We're looking to build something that is very, very larger than life here. We're already in a place that I'm extremely proud of, that the team around me is extremely proud of. The people who come in here and who work for us really, really work hard. We work weekends. I myself, generally, I'm working pretty much 7 days a week. The last day that I can remember I took off was my birthday a few months ago. Sure, I take, breaks throughout the week, and I'm not saying don't take a day off in a week. I know that a lot of people definitely need to do that, and they definitely need that day off to reset, spend time with family, do whatever else, 100%. But if you don't have the ability for the most part to commit to working 6 days a week and realizing that that's what it takes to actually build, a legacy, to build something that matters, right? If you want to build something that matters, come work for us, but also expect to be having to work harder to actually attain that, right? If you just want to do, like, this isn't McDonald's, guys, right? Like, if you want to go and just work at McDonald's and you just want to work 4 or 5 days a week and just have it, okay, go do that. But if you want to actually build something that's extremely valuable, if you really want to actually be valuable to me, be valuable to this company, we will teach you everything you need to know to do that. But you need to be willing to put in the work to actually become valuable, right? So you need to understand that. Also, we don't want anyone who's negative for team morale. So if you're a negative person, right, if you're constantly, talking down on the team, or constantly bringing negative energy into the group calls or the chats or whatever, and you just never have anything positive to say to any of the team members or any of the prospects, go away. We don't want you. Like, we're looking for people who are positive, people who have a mindset where they're looking for solutions to problems and just how to overcome things, who don't focus on the negatives, but choose to see the silver lining in everything, choose to see everything as a learning experience, right? So if you're a positive person, then great. You're going to have a really, really fun time here. But especially because we screen very carefully for people who we think are negative for team morale. You could be, you could have all the qualifications we're looking for. If you're negative for team morale, we will not have you on. So what's in it for you, right? And I think that's obviously an important question to answer. What are you actually getting out of being in this position? What's the benefits of joining our team and becoming a growth specialist? Okay. First of all, you're going to get in-depth and consistently updated training, teaching you how to build a skill set worth multiple 6 to 7 figures that can be applied across a plethora of industries. So like I said, we built our business off of the back of this role. This is what we were doing to acquire clients, and the skill sets that we learned, we are now teaching everyone who is in this position right now. Like, in order for you to be successful in this position, I can't hold anything back from you. I have to teach you everything that I know so that you have all the information possible to actually be able to bring in, 6, 7 figures, because that's what I want everyone to be doing here. I want everyone to actually be capable of bringing in 6 to 7 figures to this business. So this skill set can be applied to an agency across almost any industry, e-com, lead generation, TikTok, like whatever you want to do, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can apply this, almost anywhere if you want to go out on your own as well. So that's what's in it for you. We have, like I said, training that goes over everything that you need to know about this position and about how to actually build that skill set. We have daily meetings 5 times a week where we, I personally answer any questions and go over all that. So you're getting consistently updated training, and it's in-depth, it's constant, and it's day-to-day. You're also joining a 6-figure team, right? So you're already joining a team that's already successful and established itself. We already know what we're doing on our end, so you don't need to worry about having a lot of the kinks kind of ironed out of the process. We've got our process figured out. So we're soon to be in the multiple 6 figures by the end of the year. Like I said, we've already passed 6 figures just in 2022 alone, and we will be into the multiple 6 figures probably by the end of this month, and definitely a couple more coming on the way by the end of the year. You're also getting personal training from me to make you the best you can possibly be in this role. I will teach you how to make money from apps that you already use every single day. And this is not some, like, I'm sure all of you have seen those ads like on Facebook. It's like, oh, make money from Facebook. And then it's like, do a survey that takes like a half hour and you make $5. It's none of that BS. I'm talking about real money. I'm talking about thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars from your Facebook account, and learning how to actually make money outreaching from those apps and turn, random people that you're speaking to and communicating to that you've never met before into people who are truly interested in you, what you offer, and willing to become a client of yours. There's also limitless income opportunities in this role. We have no salary cap. So you are paid based on your value, which is directly correlated to your quality and quantity of work, right? So this is not McDonald's. We will not gouge you. And what I mean by this is not McDonald's is if you work at McDonald's, you could make them, I don't know what the average person makes McDonald's for like an 8-hour shift. But let's say like you could make McDonald's $10,000 in a day selling, a whole bunch of burgers. They're still going to pay you minimum wages. What? I think it's $12 an hour here around there. I haven't worked for so long. I haven't needed to remember, but I think it's around $12 here. So you do that an 8-hour day. That's probably in the vicinity of like $100 a day, I would imagine. You'd be making $100 a day while you made McDonald's $10,000, right? So you're only getting like 1% of the amount of money that you made them. They're gouging you, like they're ripping your eyes out doing that, right? So with us, your income is directly correlated to the value that you're bringing to the business. You're getting a percentage of that, right? So it's not about us kind of just making a flat fee off of you, and pay. Like you are making what you are worth, right? So like I said, this is not McDonald's. This is not a job where you come in, you clock in your shift, the quality of your work doesn't matter, right? Even if you do a whole lot of quantity, the quality and the quantity of your work here, they really matter. So if you're somebody who has worked kind of jobs where you've kind of been like, wow, like I wish I was motivated to do more. Like I wish like I got a bonus, for doing this. Cause like maybe I'm cleaning the floor and there's no need for me to clean the floor very well because I'm not getting paid any extra for it. I just want to go home. So if you're somebody who's motivated by actually wanting to be good at what you do, putting in the quality of work and wanting to be fulfilled at the end of the day and going, damn, I actually did a really good job today and this is a job well done and I've earned this money, then this is definitely a benefit you're going to get from working here. As well as, again, limitless income opportunities. You can make as much as you want. It's all going to be based off of your quality and quantity of work. There's also very strong opportunities for advancing within the company. We are only getting started here with this team. There's going to be a lot of internal roles to fill, including leading this team and making loads of commissions. So this is pretty self-explanatory, but you are definitely, if you're watching this video right now, early in on this opportunity and early in on this team. And, I definitely see that as a huge benefit of joining right now because this team is going to be wildly, wildly successful. Like I said, we've already done this. We know exactly how to, make this role work. And the people who are able to start right now are going to be able to advance very, very quickly in the coming 6 to 12 months. And it's really going to change a lot of people's lives. So you're also going to be able to surround yourself with an incredibly supportive and hands-on team that wants nothing for you but to win, succeed, and realize your dreams. So like I said, guys, because it's a little bit of a smaller team right now and we're kind of just getting started, we are extremely hands-on. We are very much in the chats, in the training, doing the daily meetings, doing everything that we can to give you the most support. Everybody who joins this team, I want them to win. More than anything, I want myself and the people around me to win. That is what I care about. That's what wakes me up and motivates me every single day is winning and helping the people around me win. If you join this team, if we accept you and we hire you, believe me, I hired you because I want you to win. I see a winner in you and I want you to be able to win. We will provide you, and this is my promise to you, I will provide you with everything that I possibly can to set you up for as much success as possible within this role. And on top of that, going into the next benefit that you get here, we're going to help you set those personal financial goals, right? So this is, again, not very much like McDonald's, where McDonald's doesn't really give a crap about you. They don't care. They would never sit you down, actually discuss, hey, where do you want to be in, a few years from now? Do you still want to be doing this position? How can we help you? We want to actually help you set some personal financial goals. And it could be something as simple as, hey, I'm going into college or university. I don't want to have to work, a day job at McDonald's flipping burgers. I would rather work here and be able to work from home and do all this. Cool. Let's help you set that goal. Maybe, you have all the time in the world and you're going, look, I just want, a place where I can come in, work 60 hours a week and have the opportunity to make 10 grand a month. Cool. We'll come up with something, whatever your, path and your plan is, we will come up with something to help you get to wherever that is, whether it's making 10 grand a month, whether it's quitting your job, whether it's, being able to have enough money to quit school, whether it's something as simple, even if you want to just, learn the skill sets and then create your own business. We're here to help you reach those goals. And not only that, but also, become someone who is worth that amount of money on the way. So if you're somebody who wants to earn 10 grand, right, you have to understand there's certain things you need to do to be worth 10 grand a month. There's certain actions and steps that you need to take daily. There's certain things that you need to do as a person to actually be worth that amount of money. So we're not just going to hand you the money. Like, you're going to have to earn the money. You're going to have to work for it. But through that, you're going to learn to become somebody who's actually worth the amount of money that you want to make, which is key, because it means, you don't just earn 10 grand because you're a human and you're working for us. You earn 10 grand because you're worth that in the marketplace, right? So the reason that I would be paying you 10 grand is because if I wouldn't pay you 10 grand, you're so valuable that if you went to somebody else, they would pay you 10 grand a month. So I want to shape you into a person who's actually worth that amount of money and get you to that point to where I have to pay you that much, because otherwise it doesn't, with how valuable that you are, it doesn't make sense for me to not pay you as much, because you'll leave and go somewhere else. The other thing this also has as a benefit is you can set your own schedule. So as long as you attend the daily meetings that we have, you're free to work the hours and the length of time that you please. We do have minimum KPIs that you do have to hit, but look, if you're able to get through those KPIs in a certain amount of hours and you decide that's what you want to do, cool, you can work whatever hours that you want to work. You can wake up when you want. Like I said, guys, this is not McDonald's. You don't clock in, clock out. Do as you please. Like I said, as long as you're attending the daily meetings, you're doing your job, you're hitting the KPIs. I don't care when you work and how you want to do it, and if you want, or where you work. If you want to work outside on your deck and enjoy the sunshine, go for it. If you want to go on a vacation to Bali and bring your lap, go for it. Don't care, as long as the minimum KPIs you're getting hit. Have at her. So what is the actual mission and purpose of this role as a growth specialist? And that's what I'll get into next here, right? So your main purpose in this position, this role has been set up to generate meetings on our calendar from your Facebook profile. So you are looking to generate meetings for our sales guy, Quinn, who's not here today, from your Facebook profile. That is the number one most important thing that you need to be doing. Now, how do we actually go about doing that? Well, I'm going to break that down and kind of show you the steps that it would take to make it unreasonable that you wouldn't be able to actually generate meetings from your Facebook profile. So you're going to need to be able to hit minimum KPIs per day, per week, whatever. That's part of your mission. You're going to have certain KPIs that you need to hit, be it a certain number of outreaches per day, certain number of follow-ups per day. Right now, we're at around 100. There's certain numbers of meetings that you have to book a month, as well as Facebook group invites. So getting into that as well, you're going to have to learn how to invite members to our Facebook group and eventually reach out to those members as well. So learning, part of the mission that you have here is being able to actually invite people to our Facebook group. And then once you kind of rise up to a certain tier, you're able to access the people in those groups as leads and help book those people who are in the group on calls as well. You're going to have to create an audience and leverage your profile as a hub for prospects to start attracting inbound leads into your inbox. This is something that, like all the stuff that I'm talking about, we cover vastly in the training, and anything that hasn't been covered, like I'm going through and I'm still updating training, day by day and adding more things to it. So everything is covered in the training, guys. We teach you how to do all of this stuff, but part of your mission is to create an audience, to become an asset for us, where you are kind of a hub for our business, for people to come in, see your profile, see exactly what our company is about, what we do, and go to your inbox asking to book a meeting with us, right? So it's your job to do that. You're also going to have the mission to post content on your profile as well as Facebook groups. We provide scripts for that are updated every single week for the Facebook groups, as well as content that's updated every single week. You don't have to create any of that. you'd like to and like to go the extra mile, you can absolutely feel free to do that. But we provide content. We provide the training on how to actually repost that content. We provide scripts for posting in groups. Everything is completely provided for, so you don't need to worry about that. You're going to need to become skilled at diagnosing people and having conversations that are impactful and reflect positively on our brand and make them easier to sell. So what it comes down to is this role is really about, having conversations with people. That's really the main and the most important thing of this role, is just learning how to have those conversations is extremely, extremely key, right? So I want you in this role to think of yourself kind of as more or less like a doctor. You're going through, you're finding problems with people's business that we know how to solve, and then you're giving them solutions. Sometimes those solutions are free. Sometimes those solutions are paid by booking them on a call with us. You're just kind of going and you're kind of learning how to diagnose people and then having conversations with them and offering them value so that you're able to solve those solutions for them. And then also learning to steer the conversation in a way so that when they actually hop on a call, it's going to be easier for us to sell them. So again, we teach and train you guys on exactly how to do this. This is all covered in the training, but this is part of your mission, especially this part here, and making them easier to sell and reflecting our brand. Because a lot of the calls that we get, the closing rate is going to be directly impacted by the conversations that you had with them to begin with. So having conversations with people and knowing how to do that in a skilled manner is very, very, very key to this position. You're also going to need to fill out tracking sheets that provide vital data not only on your individual role, but play a major part in the outreaching strategy of the entire company. So there are certain sheets that we have that track your metrics and what you guys are doing, your conversion rates, all that stuff. Very simple. They take about 3 minutes at the end of your day to fill out. They're really not that long. They're not that complicated. But part of your role is to fill out those sheets as well. Those sheets provide vital data that I can take a look at, and I can even teach you to take a look at to see exactly where you're going wrong or right in your process. So we can identify problems extremely, extremely quickly on, where you're either doing really, really strongly or where you're messing up in the system. And if I see that multiple people are messing up or doing really strongly on a certain part of the system, I can help fix or add that to our system as well. So everyone who fills out these sheets plays a very important part in providing us with data that really, really helps make this system even better. Like I said, it's the flywheel effect. The longer that, we have this system going and the more people that go into the system, the more data we have to work with, the more we can see what works and what doesn't. And like I said, it's the flywheel effect. It keeps getting better and better with time. So everyone's going to be making more and more money as time goes on. So what competencies and qualifications do you need to have this role? So you need to have great conversational skills and the ability to adapt to people's receptiveness, right? So like I kind of mentioned before with diagnosing people, you need to know actually how to have the conversations to get there in the first place. And you need to have the ability to adapt to people's level of receptiveness, realize sometimes people are going to be very, very receptive to your message, and understanding how to not mess up that conversation and kind of drag it out too long. And then also understanding how to gauge people who aren't very receptive to your message and how to warm them up and get them to a place where you can get them on a call. You're going to need the ability to manage multiple conversations throughout the day. So if you were ever a big dating app user, maybe, I never was too big on it, but I had friends who were, and or somebody who was on Snapchat as well. Look at that. Maybe that'll actually come in handy. If you were ever able to really manage multiple conversations throughout the day, keep the flow going, and still maintain those relationships with people, this is quite similar in that regard, because you're going to be talking to a lot of people throughout the day on your messenger, and you're going to have to treat each and every one of those people with care and be able to foster a relationship strong enough that they trust you to get on a call with us. So that is another part of the qualifications that you need. You need to have the competency to be able to do that. And if you don't, like I said, no worries, we'll teach you how to do that. You need to have an in-depth understanding of our business model and how we help the market solve some of its biggest problems. So like I said, if you don't know, you really should by now. We are a lead generation agency that focuses on setting 20 to 30 appointments for financial advisors without them having to rely on referrals or do any cold calling. So you should know, and again, we provide all of this information in our YouTube videos and other content that we have out all over the internet. We solve some of the biggest problems for our market. We are very, very good at it. You're going to need to understand our business and our business model so that you know exactly how to help the people that you're talking to, because you can't be a doctor if you don't know, what medicine to prescribe to begin with. So if you don't even know the medicine you're talking about, you can diagnose people all day long. If you don't have the solution for them, you're just going into people's, conversations and just telling them they have a bunch of problems and then not offering them a solution. So they're just going to tell you to bug off, and you're never going to get anywhere. Don't want to be the guy that's just pointing out problems and then not coming up with a solution, right? So the other thing you're going to need is a great understanding of outbound and inbound appointment setting. You're going to need to know exactly how to set appointments from, outbound messages that you're sending as well as inbound messages that you're receiving. Again, we do training on how our system works for both outbound and inbound and teach you to be able to do that. You're going to need a reliable computer, right? You need a computer that actually works. You can do some of this from your phone probably, but like the majority of the work that you're doing should be from a reliable computer. You're going to need great internet, right? So you're going to need internet where it's reliable, it's consistent, it's stable, and you're able to continue to have these conversations, and it's not going to be something that interrupts you throughout the day. And you're going to need to think like a founder. So, you're going to need to kind of think like me, kind of realize that you have your own little slice of the business, right? You have your own schedule. You have your own days of the week, time of the day that you're working. You need to know exactly how to manage that. When it comes to the conversations you have with clients, you need to think certain things like, would John give up on this client and give up on talking to him, just because he threw this certain objection at me or did this or that, right? You need to be able to, like I said, think like a founder, think like somebody who more or less kind of owns their own little slice of the business, and have that mindset. So that's a competency that you need to have. Another qualification and thing that you really need to have is you need to be able to work in Central Time and Eastern Standard Time. I myself am based in Central Time. My business partner Quinn is based in Eastern Time. There's a 1 hour difference between the two. It's not that big of a deal, but you're going to need to have the ability to work on that time. That's the time that we talk to all our prospects. So if you're in a time zone, somewhere around the world where you're just not able to work in Central Time, sorry, but this role is not for you. All of our clients are awake in Central and Eastern Time. So if you're messaging them at like 4 in the morning and all that stuff, it's really not a good look. So yeah, you're going to need to be able to work at that time. Compensation. So I'll cover a lot more of this in the training, but everyone starts at a commission and a base probation. Everyone starts at a commission base and has a probation period for that. So that probation period is a month, 5 weeks to be precise, because you have kind of 1 week of training and then 4 weeks where we get you to go out and do that. There's a bonus if you're able to close 3 clients within that first month, and then we move you up to salary. So everyone starts off at a commission base. Like I said, this is not McDonald's. If you think you're going to come in and we're just going to pay you when you have not proven yourself, I'm sorry, but you're mistaken. We pay people based on the actual value that they're providing for us, and we pay them very, very handsomely and reward people for the value that they're providing. So if you prove that you are, valuable throughout the probation period, and you prove that you can really add value to the business, we will move you up to a salary. So that way, you know that you have a little bit of money kind of steadily coming in, so that you can, pay the phone bill, do whatever else you need to do. Right, so we do move you up to a salary after the probation period, but the salary really isn't what you should be relying on. It should really be the higher commission levels that we give you, because we're going to be giving you higher commissions the further up the tiers that you go, and your commission is going to should make up really the large majority of the amount of money that you're making in the month. We have a four-tiered salary and commission system, which earns more the higher you move up. So again, starting at the commission base, you move up to tier 1, you earn a little bit of a salary there, your commission rate gets higher. You also get more bonuses and things like that the higher that you go up. There's, for example, tier 3, you start to get access to the Facebook group and have access to really, really warm prospects that other people don't necessarily have. But to move up those tiers, we're also expecting you to be able to book a lot more meetings. But like I said, it's a flywheel system where the higher and higher you move up the tiers, the more meetings you're booking, plus the more commission and salary rate that you're getting to begin with. So it kind of does this hockey stick curve where your income really, really goes up. And most people start, like I said, seeing 4 to 8 grand within the first 90 days. It just takes a little bit of time to get there because you have to prove yourself. You have to go through the system, go through the tiers. But once you get up to where you're actually making that solid amount of commission plus a solid salary, then it is a really, really good role to be in. There's also many bonuses to inspire healthy competition. So, for example, people who book the most meetings in a month or a week, people who book the most Facebook group invites in a month or a week. So there's, we want to inspire kind of a healthy competition. This is one of the ways that we get people to push each other. So if you're able to get, the most meetings, the most Facebook groups, we have a couple other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. You're going to get bonuses for that as well. So the salary is more than what it seems as well, because we are giving out a lot of bonuses. We always reward innovation. We always reward hard work. We always reward people who go above and beyond. Like I said, this is not McDonald's, right? If you come in and we see that you are, putting in more work than everyone else combined, we are going to reward you for that one way or another. Whereas McDonald's would not give a crap. They'd see you doing more work. They'd go, great, perfect. Let's just give him more hours, right? So that would be your reward. For us, you get bonuses and you get more money. So that basically wraps it up. That is the entire position. If you're now interested in the position, if you think this is something that you would like to do, a team that you would like to be a part of, we would love to have you as a part of the team. So simply fill out the form below this video. There's also going to be in that form a link to a Loom that you have to create. So what I want you to do, I'm creating this video that you're watching right now from a website called Loom. I'd like you to go and actually record a short 3 to 5 minute video explaining why you actually feel you would be suited for this role, why you want to do this role, and just include that in the form below. Then simply wait for myself or my team to reach out to you. That should take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, maybe even less depending on the time of day. We'll reach out to you. We'll kind of get you set up with the next steps. We'll schedule an interview with you. So be prepared to start training as soon as possible if you're selected, right? Like within 24 to 48 hours, like once we schedule you for an interview, it's like, okay, let's get going. Let's get trucking. Let's get you started on the training and let's get you in the program, right? So from there, if you pass a vibe check on the interview and everything's all good, you'll be invited to join our Google Drive where you're going to have training. And then there is an exam as well. It's a 20-question exam. Every question is worth 5 points, and you need to get 80% to pass. So you need at least 16 questions right on the exam. It's not a hard exam. There's not a whole lot of critical thinking, and you can do it as many times as you need until you pass. But you need to pass that exam just so that we know that you understand everything that we went over in the training. That's all the exam is. We just ask you questions of the things that we covered in the training and see if you remember them and knew them. And basically, it's kind of like a test to just make sure that you watched all the training, right? And then from there, once you're done that, you're going to be able to join our Discord community. This is where all the growth specialists that we have on our team are, where we do our daily meetings and all the other stuff. And you're going to be able to begin outreaching. So yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody who joins this team. I'm looking forward to really, really growing this thing super, super big, having people a part of this who are winners, who are looking to create something larger than life. So if that's you, apply now, and I cannot wait to talk to you.